Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor. We are back in Iridír. It's pretty quiet, but we are ready to continue with the Crown of Hamad storyline. So let's speak with Mizâdi. A hungry armies have defeated before they take the battlefield. There is plenty of food in the hills of Ambarul, but with most of the able-bodied taking up arms to defend her, there are few hands left to pick and harvest the fruits of the soil. Would you go to the local orchard and help the farmers there gather grain and fruit to feed our army? Every bit helps to keep morale high and minds sharp, Beriathan. And I think there were a couple of additional quests that would pop up here in Iridír. But I mean, it has something to do with these suspicious citizens, but maybe Badarul here would have that quest. Yeah, plenty of those.
Travel with care, friend. Dangers are all about.
Greetings, Warden. I am glad you are here. I am in need of your help. There have been reports of looting and sightings of citizens acting suspiciously in the area. I believe these citizens are Ekhamâti soldiers in disguise here to cause chaos. See if you can identify these individuals and put a stop to them before they cause any more damage.
This valley belongs to the Shagani, and no one else.
I am glad to see you. We have suffered losses here in Iridír from the assault laid by Barshut II, and now the families must be informed. These letters contain the news as well as personal sentiments for the ones affected. I know it will not be enough, but we have to at least be sure they know what happened to their loved ones. Would you assist me in delivering them? I do not feel I can take them myself, as I need to grieve for the loss, as they were all beloved friends and I cannot face their families yet.
Travel with care, friend. Dangers are all about.
Greetings, Beriathan. In the wake of the assault led by Barshut II, we have many people from the area gathering here to volunteer to fight back. This warms my heart to see such bravery. I will be busy training the recruits as they are ready, but I know that some are still needing to be armed before they can begin. Take some weapons from the crates nearby and arm the recruits with the weapons they desire to learn. Okay? Sure. So, as we start doing some of these things...
Travel with care, friend.
Another one.
Dangers are all about.
Hello, Warden. I am sure you have heard of the assaults led by that monster Barshut II here in Ambarul. I wish to help however I can, but my talents are in music. I would like to write a melody to honor the fallen and the injured. Can I ask you to help me speak with people here who have been displaced and try to gather their stories? I can use the tales they tell, craft my song. Alright, so plenty of people to talk to, let's see. Thank you, I will put this to good use. Hope you will. Why can't I move? Buddy, please, don't do this to me. I just started recording. Well, I guess this should give me some time to talk about what has been happening with me and with the channel lately, because yeah, I know I've been away for quite a long time, and the previous episodes regarding, well, related to Crown of Hamad have not really talked about that at all. And the reason for that is because those first episodes of Crown of Hamad I recorded all the way back, I mean, a few days after the release of Dunshuma. Finally, there he goes. So, fine weapon. Yeah, fine weapon indeed. So now I am back after about 6 months of really not playing the game at all, and there are plenty of reasons for that I hope I can explain as we move along. Some of these NPCs that we need to talk to. I appreciate what Zamina wants to do. I would gladly tell my story. Okay, you go and talk with her. Thank you. I will put this to good use, yeah. So what has happened, really? As I said, it has a few explanations. I will return to Citadel to begin my training. On one hand, I think I had already mentioned this before, but every year when summertime comes, I find myself less compelled to play the game. And I think the reason for that is because usually summertime is a period of low activity in regards to questing and new storylines, new quest packs. By the time summertime comes, sorry, the game is just gearing up for the next expansion. So the second half of the year is usually just festivals and dailies and gearing up. And yeah, I mean, strengthening your character for the last part of the current expansion cycle before the next one begins. And for myself, that's really not that engaging as going to new places and experiencing new stories. So I believe that's why I really don't have as much of an urge to play the game after, I don't know, June, maybe, between May and June. But that usually, most of the time, would happen only for 2 or 3 months. And then I would find out that I feel ready to continue playing and would do some grinding and maybe some new missions come along or something like that. But didn't happen this time. And it was not only just for burnout or however you want to call it, although it played a big part, I would guess. There are so many things to cover, but basically I got a new job, which I had been looking for a long time, and this job, for the first time in years, required me to go to the office 4 days a week. But still, I need to go to the office, so I have less time. I need the time to commute back and forth, but I also need the time to, well, cover the duties of my new job. And sometimes I get back home really tired, but it's not only that. That's part of it. The new job has been taking a lot of time, as you would expect, and I'm not complaining. I've been looking for a stable job for a really long time, so I'm really glad I finally have one. On the other hand, well, I've been commuting, so I've been using the commuting time to read some books, books that I have not read before, rereading some books that I wanted to reread for a long time. And one of the books that I ended up rereading was the Witcher series. I reread the entire thing, from Last Wish to The Lady of the Lake and even Season of Storms, and ended up enjoying Season of Storms much more than I thought I would. That's another story. But what happened after I had finished reading The Witcher is that I really wanted to play the games again, because the books put me in the mood to replay the games, you know? And that's what I did. I replayed the first 2 Witcher games, actually, because again, with my new job, I really didn't have much time, so I was moving at a very slow pace. So I was able to complete Witcher 1, and I was about to complete Witcher 2. I was just a few hours away from completing Act 3. But here comes the next part of what happened. On September, a little game called Silksong released. I was not playing Silksong. I was playing the original Hollow Knight that I had not played before. And I found myself hooked to Hollow Knight to extents that I really did not expect. This cannot be. Please leave me to grief. Yeah, I was meaning to talk to the recruits first. But yeah, I started playing on Hollow Knight around early September. And Hollow Knight is a really fun game, but it's also a really hard game. So it was early November by the time I, let's not say finished all of Hollow Knight, but I finished Hollow Knight up to Pantheon 4. If you play the game, you would realize I was basically there. The only thing that I was missing from Hollow Knight, that I still have not been able to do. I appreciate what Tamina wants to do. I will gladly tell my story. Yeah. The only thing I'm missing is completing Pantheon 5. Which basically it's just... for those of you who have not played Hollow Knight, it's a sort of a boss rush mode. Where you need to face every single boss in the game. One after the other. And there are some... places where you can rest and recover your health and things like that, but you still need to do the entire thing on one sitting from start to finish. It's really hard, and I've been trying since, I don't know, November 3rd to complete that Pantheon, and I still have not been able to do it. But on one hand, I know that the new expansion is right around the corner, Kingdoms of Arad. On the other hand, I still have not finished Ekhamâti, and on the other hand, I really started to miss in Middle-earth again. So this break ended up being longer than I thought. I cannot, please, leave me be. And it could have been longer even. Because I really want to complete that Pantheon in Hollow Knight. But I really couldn't spare any more time doing that when there's so much stuff to do here in LOTRO. And I mean, before I started recording, I had to sort things out on my backspace, my houses, and getting back into the game, like getting used to the game once again. So I've been doing other things before I started recording, and it feels great as usual, so that's fine. So yeah, here we are, just a few days before the release of the expansion, hoping that I am able to complete Crown of Ekhamâti before that, so that I can jump right into Kingdoms of Arad. But I've also been thinking that part of the reason why I really didn't feel that engaged with the game is because, I don't know, I mean, the Coursers of Umbar was a really fun expansion. Coming to Umbar for the first time and exploring the city and going places where you hadn't been before, the new city, the new biomes, the new culture, all that was great. But I don't know if what exactly happened with Legacy of Morgoth, but it really wasn't as engaging to me. I don't know if it feels too derailed from what we usually associate Middle-earth with. There's no Gondor, there's no Rohan, there's no nothing. At least in Gundabad you were still in a portion of the map that Tolkien worked in, and Gundabad appears in the lore extensively, or at least a little bit more extensively than Umbar. I don't know, but maybe I'm missing that huge Lord of the Rings component. I remember a developer diary, I believe it was from the Isengard days, when the game was still released by Turbine, and they said that we would work with a lowercase t factor and a capital T factor. So the lowercase t factor is the Turbine factor. That's all the things that we introduce on our own, the characters and the storylines and well, the gameplay and things like that. But the capital T factor is the Tolkien factor, and that's when we deal directly with things that appear in the books, like Frodo, Aragorn, and the Battle of Minas Tirith, and Isengard, Saruman, things like that. So, to put it on those terms, I think I'm missing a bit of the capital T factor. I really hope that the expansion will get us that, because, well, Gandalf and Glorfindel are back in the storyline again. Well, that's also really weird, because we had the release of the Raid of Utukbur, where, if I'm not mistaken, Asagath is defeated, but that has not been included into the storyline yet, so it really feels like a mess on that regard. And I still don't know where they are going with the Song of Waves and Wind. Similar thing happened to me with the Legacy of Durin, and in the end I ended up loving that storyline just because how they tied it up all together in the very last few hours of Gundabad. So I'm hoping something similar will happen with this expansion that would really make this story come together, because there are still so many things that I'm still not sure about regarding the Song of Waves and Wind. But because yeah, we have Azagat, but Azagat, we thought he was the big bad guy. He's not. Even as of the time of recording, has been defeated off camera, not as part of the storyline. I'm hoping that the first few chapters of the next epic will cover that in some way, because otherwise that would be very anticlimactic. We still don't know exactly what the Song of Waves and Wind is, but everyone is scared of it. So yeah, I guess the game, for me at least, was not really in a good spot, and maybe I was not in a good spot either, but we're back now. So I'm gonna stop talking and continue moving on with the storyline, shall we? My beloved, you cannot be gone. I just wanted to explain to you what has been happening in the last few months before continuing. I know many of you have left comments, and I have not answered comments in a really long time. I really don't have an excuse for that. I hope you will forgive me for that, but hopefully next year will be a better year for the channel. That's all I'm saying. I cannot. Please leave me be. I understand you don't want to tell your story. Okay, get it now. I thank you for telling me. Now I can finally grieve for him. But for now I must go. It seems like there are more people. Oh yeah, another one. It is painful to talk about, but I wish to honor those fallen. Good. I am glad to provide my story. Who do we have here? Okay, you don't want to talk either. And that doesn't advance the quest. Well, it makes sense. But that just makes things harder for me, I guess. Now, I have not been 100% away from the game. There are a couple things that I have done that those with keen eyes might have noticed already. I am glad to provide my story. I was saving my LOTRO points and even some money for when they at some point had decided to release a Gondorian themed patrons cover. We got the Loyal Knights cover on July, sort of. Believe it or not, I don't know if I don't remember too well right now if I just didn't have enough points. That is a possibility, or it just slipped my mind or whatever, but I didn't buy that package when it initially came out. Just glad that one of the LOTRO YouTubers that I follow did a giveaway for a code for the highest tier of the cover, and I was lucky enough to win that one. So I do have Look, a loyal goose of Gondor with... Oh my god, it's so silly, so funny, and so awesome at the same time with a winged helmet. And I have the cosmetics. I have not opened that coffer yet because I don't have a place to store those cosmetics. I will get back to that in just a moment. Well, I have the steed that we can take a look at in just a moment maybe. And I also have the milestone. The Gondorian milestone that I am using right now. So next time we need to use the milestone, you'll get to see that one in action. That's really cool. No, I am sorry. I must go. And lastly, the other thing that I've been doing that's really cool as well, thanks to this year's Black Friday sales. And all the other covers are on sale. So I also got myself a Rohirrim cover for my Rohirrim characters. So I don't expect to use those items with Beriathan, but you will still well, I still have them. I love those cosmetics, so I'm really glad that those coffers were on offer.
This valley belongs to the Shagani.
Adventurer. I could use your help. We have people arriving here in Iridír who have been driven from their homes by the assaults in Ambarul. I worry for them having to sleep wherever they can find room and being exposed to the weather and cold. I have some supplies here. Would you please take them and set up some tents that they can stay in? Sure. Face target, yeah. Okay.
This valley belongs to the Shagani and no one else.
These stories are heartbreaking but will be valuable in my work. I thank you for your help. I will now do my best to craft a song worthy of these words to properly honor them. And yep. Those suspicious citizens, well, they were suspicious for a reason. And here we have it. Looters stopped. Okay. Any more suspicious citizens that... Or do I need to keep farming these two guys till the end of time? Oh god. Ah, 10 location. Do I need like... Oh no, I can do it from this place. At least... yeah, I will need to leave the city. I cannot jump through here, yeah.
What say you, traveler?
I trust you have delivered the terrible news to the families. I hope that they are able to find peace. Thank you for your help, Beriathan. I will not forget this act of kindness.
Travel with care, friend. Dangers are all about.
The recruits have been arriving and telling me that you supply them all. I will have them in fighting shape in no time. Here we go. Finally, some music. I was starting to wonder what happened. Because whatever happens with LOTRO, you can always count with having great music to accompany you. So, well, finally we have it. Sangal, there you are.
Is there something you need?
The tents will work flawlessly. Well done. Thank you, Warden. I will inform the people of your efforts and let them know they will no longer be forced to suffer the outdoors. Okay, and it seems now we just need to farm the suspicious citizens. Maybe there are more throughout Iridír. I hope so. I wouldn't want to farm the same 2 spots over and over again. You know what I forgot to do before I started recording? Ever since I got back, really. Oh boy. How many tokens do I have? I don't remember. 27 out of 60. Okay. Thing is that when the expansion releases, if we are not fighting enemies on our level or above, then we will stop seeing tokens. And that's what happened last time with Umbar. I do remember that one, that I was like, what's going on? Why I am not getting tokens? And it was just that I was like 1 or 2 levels above the NPCs. So I really hope that doesn't come to pass this time around, or I don't know, that the enemies level up alongside you a little bit more smoothly than usual. I don't know. In the end, we'll hit the level 160 cap again and start getting the tokens again, so it's really not a big deal.
Nico, it is good to see you.
Homesteading coins. Yep. Well, not that interesting. And since I got the Loyal Knight and the Rohirrim coffers, I guess I have plenty of mithril coins now. I could technically use those mithril coins maybe to finish leveling up my reward track. I mean, I missed entirely season 14, I believe it was, simply because from May to August I really did not play the game at all. And now that we are in season 15, I think it is, I have managed to do maybe a couple of levels, but nothing too major either, because, well, I've not played that much, and there are just a couple of days before the release of the next expansion, so I don't know if it's worth it to try and complete this reward track. I mean, one of the reasons why I didn't do the previous season is because usually the cosmetic rewards that you get are spread evenly among housing items and pets and things like that, like things that I would actually love to have. But the previous season was all housing items. My storage is full, my houses are full. I really don't see how I can fit more decorations. And the decorations that were released on that previous track were Elven themed and Dwarven themed, so I really didn't have any use for them. I did miss some of the legendary items, proper traceries and runes and things like that, but I really don't grieve too much for having lost this reward track. This other reward track, the one that we're currently in, I think it's again housing items mostly, but some of those housing items look really cool. But I don't think I can get to level 100 before the end of the season, so I guess I'll just need to own up for not playing that much and hope that next season will have some pretty cool rewards.
Travel with care, friend. Dangers are all about.
You have returned. Were you able to find any of these troublemakers? You informed Badarul of the looters you defeated. So it was Ekhamâti soldiers after all. I am glad you have dealt with them and given us one less issue to manage here. And I think that was it for the new quests in Iridír, and with that we are ready to move towards Burukíri. I don't know if you remember because this was like a year ago, but Burukíri, well, it's one of the very first settlements that we encountered in Ambarul, and I remember that when I first came there, I was really confused as to why there were no quests in that area. Like, what purpose does it serve then? And we had to wait some time, but the answer came with Crown of Amat. So I don't know if this was planned from the very beginning or if the devs just realized that they could. There was some quest hubs, potential quest hubs that they hadn't really used, and decided to add some quests to tie up with the Crown of Amat story. Like, I mean, what was first, the egg of the chicken? I don't know. But I'm sure glad that they were able to give us something to do in this place.
What say you, traveler?
Ah yes, I could use the help, much as it chafes me to say it. These legs have borne strikes enough for 3 men. I have been blessed to work this land for many years, but now the years feel much heavier on my bones than they once did. I am glad for the aid. You can start by gathering fruit from the orchard. Beware of the Zilêndu. Every year they grow fiercer and seemingly larger. Anything you can do to reduce their number would be greatly appreciated. After that, there is some grain that is ready for harvesting in the northern field.
This valley belongs to the Shagani, and no one else.
Hello, my friend. If you are willing, I am in need of some help. When word of the assaults laid by Barshu II reached the people here in Burukíri, some of my farmhands fled the area with their families to find somewhere safer. I do not condemn their decisions, but in the chaos when they fled, my farmhands abandoned the tools they had in their hands. I need them back and accounted for. This is where you come in. If you have the time, I ask that you check around Burukíri for abandoned tools. The places that the farmhands worked were behind the house, near the beehives, and around the mill. I would suggest checking there first.
Is there something you need?
Greetings, Warden. Some of my livestock have wandered off and have not yet returned home. Might I trouble you with finding them in the surrounding fields and sending them back here? I would usually do this myself, but since my farmhands left, I do not have the time with all my other duties. I would gladly compensate you for the help.
What say you, traveler?
Beriathan, you must have heard of the assaults that Barshu II is leading in Ambarul. I am not much of a fighter, but I want to do what I can to help the ones who are. The fighters will need food, and while we have much here already, I know we will need more. If you are willing, would you take this bag of seeds and plant them in the soil nearby so that I can begin growing extra crops? You should be able to easily spot locations where the soil has been tilled already.
What say you, traveler?
Oh, Warden, I am glad to see you. We are in need of help from someone with your skills. There is a river to the northwest of here, and there have been claims that the water coming from it is being poisoned. With the recent attacks by Barshu II, farmers here fear it may be the work of Ekhamâti soldiers. We would not stand a chance against them if the rumors are true. Can you investigate the river and see if you can find anything?
Is there something you need?
Glad to see you. I have heard some troubling news, and so I must ask for your help. Other farmhands have spotted Ekhamâti scouts in the marshes just to the north of here. You must stop them before they can bring any reports back to their leaders. it would endanger us all if they succeed. Alright, so where do we begin first? Sack up seats. I mean, there's so many things to do in this farm. I didn't remember there being so many quests in here. Ah, ripe orange. Sorry. There we go. And again, this orchard is so dense, you can barely see anything. Can't see a thing inside this place. Stupid corruptions. I need to get used to that again. I didn't see this other borrower either, so taking quite a beating. Finally. Oh, what now? I even missed the Midsummer Festival this year, which is weird because they had the addition of Further Home, I think it was. That sounds really intriguing, but I don't know. I ended up sitting on the Midsummer Festival. That's something that had only happened to me once before. Oddly enough, that happened to me the very first year that Midsummer was introduced. I had to wait a whole year before I could go back and check what I had missed. And I guess history has repeated itself this time because I will need to do just that to be able to go to Further Home next year. So well, there's that, I guess. You spot some abandoned tools, alright. Another one? Where exactly? Alright. The beehives. Oh. Field soil. Gosh, right. Also another thing I'm not sure you might have noticed. Well, you must have heard that previous episodes have had some distortion in the sound. Every once in a while it happens. And I've been looking like crazy trying to figure out what had happened. I was not having any luck. But after playing around with my recording settings, I think I finally found the culprit. The last few tests that I did were promising, so hopefully that means that annoying thing has disappeared, has gone for good. But do let me know if you still hear some of those issues. Oh, for God's sake. Finally, completed Insect Slayer of Ambarul. Cool. I'll check that in just a moment. Some Virtue XP, 50. So now we need to defeat 100. The title is really cool, but I don't know that I can farm another 100 insects just for that. There was a cow in here. Or was it? Yeah. Oh my god. Plenty of tokens at least. And at least I didn't die, so that's also good. Good to know that I still remember how to do this thing despite the time away. Because I believe this might end up being one of the years where I have played LOTRO the least. On 2017 my computer was down, so I couldn't play at all throughout the year. I missed the Mordor expansion when it released and everything. I think I had already mentioned that. 2018 was also, I still couldn't replace my old computer. I was playing from my mom's laptop whenever I at the time, but it was really not the same. 2019. I don't remember how much was I playing, but I guess not much. occasionally maybe. I remember I got back to the game in full during the pandemic, where the LOTRO team did this thing where they basically give the entire game for free to deal with the pandemic. And at the same time, my job at the time allowed me to get a new gaming PC, and that's when I got back into the game, when I started the channel as well. It was really fun, those days. Oh, come on. Please die.
Is there something you need?
I have been told that you found the animals and sent them home. I am grateful for your help. Please accept these for your travels.
This valley belongs to the Shagani, and no one else.
Thank you, my friend. I hope these crops will be enough to sustain our fighters, but it is the best I can do for now. Please accept these as a token of my gratitude for your help. Okay, still need to find the tools and investigate the river. It's just that I really don't remember where the beehives are. Are the beehives, really? Treasure cache here. There should be one. I mean, it looks like a perfect place for one. But I guess I was wrong. bridge that I'm supposed to scout to. I mean, it's supposed to be here somewhere. You spot some tracks near the mouth of the river. Maybe they hold some clues. Further up the river, okay. The tracks are faded but appear to lead further up the river. You see more tracks along the river. These appear less faded than the others. Okay. These tracks appear to be from an animal. They continue to point upstream. You see two animal carcasses that must be the source of the poisoned water. Okay, so it seems that was it. I just need to find beehives. I don't remember where they are. But if we can find that those beehives today, then we should be able to finish everything on Burukíri in one sitting. That would be really nice. It's just that I don't remember where they are exactly. I mean, I seem to remember it was a very specific spot you needed to check for the trigger to advance. And there were a lot of beehives packed together in that place. It was not just one or two isolated. It is possible the beehives were somewhere inside these orchards where you can not see a single thing. I mean, I am risking a lot with this. Just spot some abandoned tools. Oh, boy. Can I do this? Maybe I can do this. Yeah, I did it. Cool. There we go. And check around the mill. Okay. You spot some abandoned tools. Over here. And the hatchet up top, of course. Okay, seems to be it.
Travel with care, friend. Dangers are all about.
You have returned. Did you find the source of the poisoned water? You informed Talmûri of the dead animals you found and that you removed them. Animal carcasses, you say? So it was not Ekhamâti's soldiers after all? That is a relief to hear, and I am glad you were able to remove them. Our waters should flow clean again soon. Thank you, kind Warden, for all your help.
This valley belongs to the Shagani, and no one else.
I am relieved to see you return. I know that more Ekhamâti will show themselves in time, but you have given us peace of mind for now. Thank you, friend.
Travel with care, friend. Dangers are all about.
You move with an enviable speed, that much is sure. I will add these to what my farm hands gathered and we will distribute them to Iridír on the next wagon. Thank you for your aid. This harvest would have taken us days without it.
What say you, traveler?
My tools. Thank you, friend. I can now make sure the work is getting done in Burukíri and the people here will be ready for the coming fight. So we gotta go back to Iridír. We're a little bit short on time, but I think it would be best if we do just that, and it gives me the perfect reason to show you my new steed. Nightly. Awesome. And, yeah, that's something that I totally forgot that I was gonna say, because the new expansion was announced, and on the bonuses that you get for purchasing, you have an extra cosmetic slot, and some extra wardrobe storage, shirt storage, actually. So that way I can use the cosmetics that I got from this patron cover alongside the steed, without needing to get rid of one of my current outfits that I really like too much. And I get the additional storage to save those items after I equip them. So I have not purchased expansion yet, but that ultimate fun bundle is too tempting not to take for these very reasons. So hopefully I will be able to get it sometime. Anyway, here is Mizâdi then. I am hardened. A queen without an army is just a deluded fool, smitten with false confidence and capricious lies. But this responsibility cuts both ways. I must provide for those under my care. I am grateful to you for making that responsibility a bit lighter for me this day. I know these food stocks will aid us in our fight against this Barshut. Okay, it seems we are still not ready to leave Iridír, but we're getting there. And once again, hopefully we will be able to do just that before the end, before the release of the next expansion, actually. For the time being though, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.